Good morning, students. Here I am with second part of chapter Money and Credit. As in previous part, we discussed about banking system, credit system, rate of interest, terms and condition. Here we are going to study about formal sector and informal sector of credit. As we discussed about the banking system, how banks provide loan to people. In our country, there are two sectors where people are getting loan. First, that is formal sector, and second, informal sector. Formal sector means the sector those who are providing loan like bank and cooperatives. Bank and cooperative sector, those who are providing loan, that is called formal sector. And informal sector called lenders. It includes money lenders, traders, employers, relatives, and friends. And this informal sector is not under the supervision of government, it is purely private. And formal sector, it is under the control of government, under the control of RBI, Reserve Bank of India. As already we discussed, the RBI control the banking system of our country. So there are two sector of loan, two sector of credit. First, formal sector. Formal sector we consider government sector like banking system and cooperative sector. And in informal sectors, it comes lenders, साहूकार जिनको हम कहते हैं. It includes money lenders, traders, employers, relatives, and friends. So mostly, generally you see in your neighborhood, even in your family, if there is any work in your house, like construction of building, marriage, educational, so in that condition we approach to our relatives also, our relatives and our friends. But mostly in rural area, people approach to informal sector because rural people, they are illiterate and poor. Poverty is a problem in rural sector, so people hitch to approach the bank because the bank requires a lot of formalities. As already we discussed about, the bank required a lot of paperwork, collateral. That is why the poor farmer and poor people directly approach to the money lenders who know them, and without any collateral he provides them loan, as we discussed the example of Swapna. Okay. So here what is the formal sector and what is informal sector? Formal sector means the government sector, that is the banking and cooperatives. And informal sector, money lenders, traders, employees, businessmen, friends, and relatives. This is called informal sector. So now what is difference between formal sector and informal sector? Formal sector means government sector, it is supervised by RBI. Informal sector, it is purely private sector, there is no any look after of government, and in informal sector, the money lender and loan provider exploit to the people. Their rate of interest is very high. Okay, so this is the difference between formal sector and informal sector. Formal sector is under the control of government, under the supervision of government, and informal sector is purely private sector. There is no any guideline and control of government. The RBI of India supervises the functioning of formal source of loan. So people those who are taking loan from formal source from banking and cooperatives, that is being supervised by Reserve Bank of India. For instance, we have seen that the bank maintain a minimum cash balance out of the deposit they receive. The RBI monitored that the bank actually maintaining the cash branch balance. Similarly, the RBI sees that the banks give loan not just to profit-making business and traders but also to small cultivators. As already we discussed you, all bank keep 15% of total deposit cash with them. This is a guideline of RBI. They keep only 15% of cash so that the daily customer can get their demand deposit. But there is also a supervision of RBI. RBI supervise all bank are providing loan to poor people or not, and what are the rate of interest. That is why in every fortnight all the bank give report to the RBI. हर 15 दिन में जो है periodically जितने भी बैंक हैं they report to Reserve Bank of India कि how what is the deposit condition and how they are providing loan to the people. The RBI see that the bank give loan not just to profit making business and traders but also to small cultivators, small scale industry, to small borrowers, etc. Periodically, bank have to submit information to the RBI on how much they are lending, to whom at what interest rate. So it is mandatory for the bankers banking to report RBI in every fortnight how much they are lending and what is the interest rate. So these all details are given to RBI, and RBI look only supervise to the formal sector. But maximum people they approach to informal sector. So here is a graph. The graph is showing 25% people are taken from commercial bank and 25% people are taking from cooperative society, and 33% people are getting loan from the money lenders. Again, it's a problem. 33% people they are purely being exploited because the rate of interest are very high. And relatives and friends, 8% people are taking from relatives and friends, and 1% are taking from landlords. So this is the graph of credit process in our country. So what is this graph showing? This graph is clearly showing banking sector is providing only 25% and cooperative sector are providing 25%. Okay. Now money lenders, they are providing 33%, landlords they are providing 1%, relatives and friends they are providing 8%, other non-institutional agencies they are providing 2%, and government is providing 1% on loan. So dear, 50% loan is out of government control here. Only the 50% is being looked after by Reserve Bank of India, and the rest 50% it is purely private, and rule and regulations are according to money lenders. Okay, there is no organization which supervises the credit activity of lenders in the informal sector. So in informal sector, there is no any organization who supervises the credit activities. They can lend a whatever interest rate they choose. There is no one to stop them from using unfair means to get their money back. So mostly in rural area, people are illiterate, and money lender provide them basically loan in high rate of interest without any collateral, and later on these poor people come under the debt trap. As already we discussed, debt trap. What is debt trap? When the borrower is unable to return the loan, that is very panic period. So the poor people and illiterate people they do not like and they wish to approach the bank. That is why they borrow money from money lenders and traders, and these traders and money lenders charge very high, and they directly exploit to these poor people. Compared to the formal lenders, most of the informal lenders charge a much higher interest on loans, thus the cost of the borrower of informal loan is much higher. In the formal case, informal lender the rate of interest are low, but in informal sector the rate of interest are very high. Higher cost of borrowing means a large part of the earning of the borrower is used to repay the loan hence. Because when the person is getting loan from the bank or from other institution, they have also repay the loan. With principal amount, they have also returned the interest. So in many cases, the people are unable to return interest and principal amount. That is very tough conditions. Okay. For these reasons, bank and cooperative society need to lend more. So The banking system should be increased in India. If there will be bank in every village, definitely people will approach to the village. But in rural area, there are no banks. If there are banks, they are around 100 kilometers away. It is not possible for a poor person to visit bank frequently because to get the loan from a bank, it requires money, paper formalities, which the poor people are unable to provide it. Okay, this would lead to higher income and many people could then borrow cheaply for a variety of needs. They could grow crop, do business, set up small scale industry. They could set up new industries or trade in goods. Cheap and affordable credit is crucial for the country's development. Now, the development of a country depends upon cheap and affordable credit. If in a country government is providing loan in cheap and affordable conditions, the country will definitely progress. Because all the economic activity run only through the credit. That is why the credit policy of a country should be affordable so that the poor people can afford it. Okay, now here is again a graph. This is showing how the people are approaching in for loan. So here loan taken by urban household. Now come to urban area, poor household. 85% people are approaching to informal sector here. Again, this is a very hopeless situation. In urban area, शहरी क्षेत्रों में, the poor household, 85% people are getting loan from informal sector where interest rate is very high. Only 15% people are getting from bank and cooperatives. Again, household with few assets. इनफॉर्मल सेक्टर से फिर हम देखते हैं हाउस होल्ड 53% वो ले रहे हैं इनफॉर्मल सेक्टर से, प्राइवेट सेक्टर से, और गवर्नमेंट सेक्टर से 47 ले रहे हैं. वेल ऑफ हाउस होल्ड जो पढ़े लिखे हैं, जिनको सब चीज़ पता है, among them 72% they are approaching to bank and 28 are approaching to informal sector. Now come to the rich household, those who are economically well off. They are approaching only to bank because they know the system. So 90% rich household in urban area approaching to bank, only 10% are going to informal sector. So this is the condition here. So here what we are calculating, maximum people are approaching to informal sector because the credit is basically concerned with the poor people, and the poor household 85% are approaching to informal sector. Informal sector means a private sector. They are taking and they are borrowing loan credit from informal sector like money lender, traders, employers, relatives and friends. Here the rate of interest is very high. So this graph is showing again a hopeless situations. Okay, most loan from informal lender carry a very high interest rate and do little to increase the income of the borrowers. Basically the borrower take money to increase his income, अपनी income को बढ़ाने के लिए कर्ज लेता है. Unfortunately, because of high rate of interest, they cannot increase their income. Thus, it is necessary that bank and cooperative increase their lending, particularly in the rural area. तो यहाँ पर एक क्वेश्चन उठता है, the government should increase banking sector in rural area. More and more banks should open in the rural area, so that in every village there will be a bank and people will approach bank for the credit. Right? Thus, it is necessary to how we can check the informal sector. It is necessary that bank and cooperative increase their lending, particularly in the rural area, so that the dependence on informal sources of credit reduce. So ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा बैंक खुलेंगे तो लोग फॉर्मल सेक्टर को अप्रोच करेंगे. Secondly, while formal sector loan need to expand, it is also necessary that everyone receives these loan. तो जब हर जगह बैंक होंगे तो लोग बैंक में ही अप्रोच करेंगे. At present, it is the richest household who receive formal credit, where the poor have to depend on the informal source. What happening in our country? The poor people again they are approaching to informal sector. वो बैंक तक नहीं जा पा रहे हैं जहाँ पर लोन मिलता है. कहाँ तक जा रहे हैं? साहूकार के पास चले जा रहे हैं, क्योंकि साहूकार के पास कोई पेपर फॉर्मेलिटी नहीं चाहिए. वो इजीली उनको लोन देता है और हाई रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट पे. It is important that the formal credit is distributed more equally so that the poor can benefit from the cheaper loan. So government should make such a system, एक ऐसे सिस्टम बनाना चाहिए कि जहाँ पर गरीब आदमी को बैंक से लोन मिले. So dear, the self-help groups for the poor. In fact, there are number of groups. Basically, in a colony, the people make samu. It is called group. Suppose there are 50 members. All the 50 members, according to their income, deposit money monthly. Right? That may be 100. That may be 200. That may be 500. Right? Suppose there are 50 members, and every month they are collecting 500 rupees from one member. So in a month they are collecting 25,000. Right? And in a year they are collecting 3 lakh rupees. Every month they are collecting. There are 50 members. They may be 50 and less than 50. And the group member can take loan from that group. This is called self-help group. So this is very successful in Bangladesh. Bangladesh is a poor nation. The economy of Bangladesh is increasing only because of this self-help group. Even the founder of the Grameen Bank of Bangladesh said, if credit can be made available to the poor people on terms and conditions that are appropriate and reasonable, these millions of small people with their millions of small pursuits can add up to create the biggest development wonder. These are the words of Professor Muhammad Yunus. He was the founder of Grameen Bank and later on he received Nobel Prize in 2006. So he said, if the poor people will be given loan in cheap rate, गरीब आदमी को ऋण सस्ते दरों पर दे दिया जाए, दैट इज़ द बेस्ट वे फॉर द डेवलपमेंट ऑफ इकोनॉमी ऑफ ए नेशन. तो किसी भी देश की इकोनॉमी को डेवलप करने का सबसे बढ़िया तरीका है. सो दिस सेल्फ हेल्प ग्रुप इज ऑल्सो वेरी सक्सेसफुल इन अवर कंट्री बिकॉज इन एवरी कॉलोनी द वुमेन जनरली मेक ए ग्रुप, एक समूह बनाते हैं एंड एवरी मंथ दे मीट, हर महीने वो मिलते हैं एंड दे कलेक्ट द मनी फ्रॉम द मेंबर. सपोज देर आर 50 मेंबर, दे डिसाइड अकॉर्डिंग टू देयर इनकम दे डिपॉजिट मनी मंथली. और जो जितने भी उसमें 50 मेंबर हैं जिसको ज़रूरत है, सपोज किसी गरीब के घर में शादी है, किसी का मकान बना रहा है, तो उसी ग्रुप से वो पैसा ले लेगा. तो यहाँ पर देयर इज़ नो नीड टू अप्रोच फॉर्मल सेक्टर एंड इनफॉर्मल सेक्टर, ईजिली दे आर गेटिंग लोन. So this is called self-help group. So this type of group can be seen in rural area as well as in urban area. Generally the women run these groups. They meet, they decide how much they collect per month and accordingly they provide loan to the members. So this is very successful in poor country and this is the best way to develop the economy of the poor nation. This is called self-help group and here the customer इज नॉट बींग एक्सप्लोटेड बाय द मनी लेंडर्स. यहाँ पर कस्टमर को मनी लेंडर एक्सप्लोइट नहीं करे. तो लोग सेल्फ हेल्प ग्रुप खुद ही एक ग्रुप बना लेते हैं, मेंबर बना लेते हैं उसके, और हर महीने पैसा जमा करते हैं और उस पैसे से क्या करते हैं, उस पैसे को बैंक में डिपॉजिट कर देते हैं. और ग्रुप मेंबर जिसको भी पैसे की ज़रूरत होती है, ही कैन टेक मनी फ्रॉम द ग्रुप. वो बैंक से उस ग्रुप का पैसा ले लेगा जितना उसको ज़रूरत होगी. और जो उसमें रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट है, इट इज़ डिसाइडेड बाय द ग्रुप मेंबर, उसको ग्रुप मेंबर ही डिसाइड करते हैं. सो दिस इज़ कॉल्ड सेल्फ हेल्प ग्रुप, स्वयं सहायता समूह. यानी कि आप अपनी मदद खुद कर रहे हैं. यू आर नॉट अप्रोचिंग टू फॉर्मल एंड इनफॉर्मल सेक्टर. राइट. ये हर मोहल्ले में आप देखेंगे, इवन इन योर कॉलोनी ऑल्सो, जहाँ पर आप रखते हैं वहाँ पे भी देखते होंगे आप, महिलाएं एक ग्रुप बना लेते हैं एंड मंथली दे कलेक्शन करते हैं मंथली. कहीं पर लॉटरी खुलती है तो किसी का एक पैसा किसी के पास आ जाता है और उसी ग्रुप में से वो लोन भी देते हैं. सो दिस इज कॉल्ड सेल्फ हेल्प ग्रुप एंड दिस इज़ वेरी सक्सेसफुल इन पुअर कंट्री एंड द सेल्फ हेल्प ग्रुप इज मोस्ट सक्सेसफुल इन Bangladesh and it played very important role in the development of Bangladesh economy. So in our country also now the poor people in rural area as well as in urban area, they have made a group and in every month according to their income they deposit money and from that money whenever they require money they can withdraw without any collateral. वहाँ पर बैंक की तरह उनको कोई कोलेटरल नहीं देना पड़ेगा और उसमें रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट भी कोई बहुत ज़्यादा नहीं होंगे. रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट विल बी डिसाइडेड बाय द ग्रुप मेंबर. सो दिस इज कॉल्ड सेल्फ हेल्प ग्रुप. राइट. So now the today's important question: what is formal sector and what is informal sector? What is difference between formal sector and informal sector? Formal sector means the government sector like bank and cooperatives. Informal sector means purely private sector like money lender, tradesmen, businessmen, friends, relatives. So mostly in our country, the maximum people are approaching to the informal sector. Informal sector is totally a private sector. It is not in the supervision of government. But the formal sector is totally under the supervision of government. So whenever the formal sector is providing loan, the terms and conditions are decided by Reserve Bank of India because the RBI is the governing body of banking system. So dear, in this chapter we study about what is money and what is currency, banking functioning, how the bank function. Then we study about formal sector, informal sector and credit, and last self-help group, Swayam Sahayata Samuh. It means the poor people are making group, and according to their income every month they deposit the money, and whenever they require they withdraw money from that group. So this is a best way to improve the economy of a nation. That is called self-help group. I hope you understand the banking system, money and credit. If there is any problem, please you can contact me, and tomorrow I will send the assignment of the chapter. Thank you.